Good morning. You're getting a lot of my face today. On Friday, I read about the 12.4% jump in Madison property values. As a longtime property owner, I was buoyed by the thought that my home is gaining in value. If my husband and I were to sell right now, we would probably realize a very nice profit from the time that we bought it 13 years ago. When we sold our previous home of many years, where we raised our family, we also turned a nice profit. That home was a loving, beautiful, and happy shelter for our lives, as well as for our hopes and dreams. I bought my first home with my boyfriend in 1974. Now, just to place you in time, unmarried women were first allowed to possess a major credit card in 1974. My partner and I, unmarried, were able to buy the home with helpful legal counsel from a sympathetic female attorney here in town. That attorney went on to become Chief Justice Shirley Abramson, and she was wonderful to deal with. Although our situation was a bit tricky, I did not experience a barrier due to the color of my skin. I benefited from generational ownership and wealth. I had some inheritance from a grandmother, as well as from, at that time, having a white male partner with a promising career. That lovely man is not the one I married, but we're not going to tell that story today. But Friday's news of rising property values also brought me much sadness, because since I learned some years ago that black people were not allowed the benefits of the GI Bill after World War II, I've gone about setting myself on the task of learning more about black property ownership in our country, as well as other systemic exclusions. You perhaps know, this was a new one for me after the last major hurricane on the East Coast. You perhaps know that black people, after the Civil War, sometimes stayed on the properties where they had been enslaved, working those lands for generations. After a hurricane, I don't remember which one, but a couple of years ago, many black landholders on those former plantation lands could not obtain insurance benefits to repair damages because they could not establish clear title. In these and many other ways, black families have been unable to climb out of cyclical, often crushing discrimination. The New York Times this morning, and I quote, "That dual reality follows what has been a mass wealth creation event with few precedents in American history for people with pale skin." The St. Andrews Outreach Committee began studying ways to come alongside a black-led community initiative that addresses social injustices, because all families must dream of loving and happy shelter the way my family and I have enjoyed it. After thought and prayer-filled conversations, the committee decided to link arms with Madison Roots, LLC. And here are words from their mission statement. "We are a team of investors seeking to amplify the wealth of black families using home ownership as a catalyst. Our platform seeks to connect with white co-conspirators to inject seed funding via our LLC for the purchase of both rental property and homes. Finally, we seek to build financial literacy through using the causeway of a rent-to-own model." How much do you love the word co-conspirators? So I feel my baptismal covenant tugging me. Actually, it's jumping up and down and shouting at me. So come with me, if you will, if you would care to page 305 in the Book of Common Prayer. And I'll read a couple of lines there. "Will you seek and serve Christ in all persons, loving your neighbor as yourself? I will, with God's help. Will you strive for justice and peace among all people and respect the dignity of every human being? I will, with God's help. Is this project, I will, with God's help? Thank you.